So I missed 2 weeks of good horror movies, and I missed the deadline for the horror movie review, but there's a good reason for that. I kind of pulled my shoulder lifting a dictionary, and I know that sounds like a bad excuse, but you're gonna have to take my word on it. No, I have like this 50-pound dictionary, and I try to pick it up like that, and wrenched my shoulder pretty hard. So, I figured I'd make it up to you guys. I really ought to stop doing that. Every time I screw up, I go, oh, I'll make it up to them, I'll make it up to you. And it usually ends up just, let me adjust the camera here, screwing me over in the end. We watched Silent Hill Revelation. Now, little background, I loved the first movie. I hated the fact that they changed the resort town to a mining town and made the snow ash, and I hated the fact that fucking Pyramid Head was in it. But, all in all, even with the changes to the story, it was a good movie. And it was good because within itself, it followed the first game, stayed remotely close to it, and was a tight-knit story in itself. I don't even know where to begin on Revelation. Well, let's begin at the beginning, when she's having nightmares and the CGI effects. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. In the first movie, all the effects were traditional, except for, like, one. In this one, there's CGI everywhere. Just, you turn around, there's computer-generated effect, and it just... It not only takes you out of the movie, it looks so bad that you're thinking, how did this get released in theaters? I'll get back to that in a second, but it starts off like Silent Hill 3. Heather's having nightmares, and she wakes up. But instead of waking up in the mall, she wakes up in her new bedroom, and her dad, still played by Sean Bean, tells her, don't worry, just handle it like every other time we moved. And right then, that raised red lights with me. What really, really blew it, though, was when they changed the story of 3 completely and said, well, yeah, well, we need to figure out how to explain that Heather is actually Sharon from the first movie. So even though Sharon and Rose died in the car accident, they were still in Silent Hill, and Rose came back to bring her back through a portal. You see, this is the problem right here. They could have easily just said it's a different family. It would have been so much better. Hang on.
Cat's trying to steal your boobies.
Mine. But instead, they try to tie it in with the first movie, and the way the first movie ended, you couldn't do it. Oh, man. The story is just... If you've played 3... This isn't 3. This is someone's AU fanfiction of 3, written the way they wanted it to be. All the characters changed. And it's written like a 52-year-old man trying to be a 14-year-old writing fan fiction porn. Only they took all the sex out. It's that bad. Not even good fan fiction. Terrible anime fucking Pikachu fucking butthead in the ass fan fiction porn.
It's like find the worst fanfiction.net story that you could find and make it into a movie.
And it really shows with characters like Vincent. Like, spoiler for anyone who hasn't played Silent Hill 3. Vincent, throughout the whole game, you think is trying to help you out. And then, one conversation towards the end of the game... Hang on.
Cats and meat guys, sorry.
Fucking cat's an ass. she's trying to strangle herself or something. She thinks she's Michael Hutchins. But, so, oh god, yeah, Vincent. He says something to Silent Hill 3 towards the end that really raises questions not just about his character, but about the town, about the whole series. She's talking about all the monsters she fights, and Vincent stops her and goes, whoa, 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 wait. You see them as monsters? In this, his whole character's changed. Instead of being a 28-year-old scholar, he's a 16-year-old boy who the town sends to find her and force her back to Silent Hill, even though she has to go of her own free will. Which is why they kidnap Harry. You know, because that's totally what happened. You didn't really find Harry Mason dead in his chair. Now, here's the thing. The story writing really shows how asinine it is right in the beginning of the movie. The private detective was hired by the cult to find her and bring her back to the town. Well, he dies right in the beginning of the movie after, what, 5 sentences of dialogue?
Yeah, like 5 minutes total screen time.
He exposes the entire movie in that 5 minutes of total screen time. Instead of showing you, he tells you everything that happens. But, he dies. Heather leaves her coat because it's covered in his blood at the crime scene, runs back home, and sees a message like, come to Silent Hill, written in blood, with the Order of the Halo symbol right there.
No, the Order of Valtiel.
Oh yeah, the Order of Valtiel. Because Valtiel was totally the bad guy in the 3rd game. No, you know, the only monster that didn't fucking harm you. But, she gets out of there, the police break into her house, see this message written in blood, go, yep, she's the killer. What cop breaks into a house, granted they did have probable cause with her coat, sees a message written in blood on the girl's wall, toppled or her house turned over and goes, yeah, she's definitely the killer.
Hi, Chief Wiggum.
It felt like Chief Wiggum from The Simpsons was the fucking cop in charge. Hey, Lou, there's a message in blood. Yep, looks like she's the killer, Chief. You're telling me we better set an APB out for her.
Also, if it seems like he's rushing through the story, it's only because the movie rushed through the story.
I don't think the movie knew the story existed. I really don't.
Trope after trope after cliche after cliche.
Yeah, like, Heather fighting her darker version of herself, which happens in the game, on a carousel, which happens in the game.
She didn't fight her, she hugged her.
Yeah, she hugs her dark self and absorbs her.
The power of love.
Yeah, the power of love kills the memory of Alessa. Yeah, the power of love totally killed her in the game. Not the fact that she fucking died from my hand, a gun, and a fucking katana. No, I hugged her. But they're talking, and Heather says, go to hell, and the memory of Alessa goes, don't you get it? We're already here. And I had 3 stages in this movie. The whole time, my expression was like this. And all the stages were progressively going. And at this point, it was, I hope to God no one sees me watching this movie. I ranted for almost 40 minutes on The Amazing Spider-Man. I could rant for 5 hours on how bad this movie is. The acting, oh my god. Well, Kit Harington played Vincent.
Yeah, Kit Harington, which if you don't know, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Sean Bean, which everybody fucking knows Sean Bean from Game of Thrones or anything else he's been. Yeah. Malcolm McDowell. Carrie-Anne Moss. If you saw this as their first movie, if this was their first movie, you would think they wouldn't have careers. This whole movie, the acting, the writing, the special effects, felt like it should have been on the Sci-Fi Channel.
It was awkward. I mean, that's the worst part, is it seemed like the actors didn't get along at all, which makes no sense for Kit Harington and Sean Bean, because in Game of Thrones, they have really good screen chemistry, but it's just so forced.
Yeah, like, a lot of the lines are just, they're delivered like this. And like, over the top Shakespearean acting. It's like if Patrick Stewart walked on stage all of a sudden, went, "What the fuck is this shit? I'm going to do this movie! And even though it's based on a game, I'm going to take it seriously." And just overacting because he doesn't realize it's supposed to be scary. He doesn't realize it's supposed to be serious. He's taking the part seriously, but he thinks it's a comedy role. And with the writing, just...
Now, when we say that it's like an AU fan fiction, an alternate universe fan fiction, it's because I've written alternate universe fan fictions for the TV shows I watch, and I have read better fan fiction written by 15-year-old girls.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Some of this dialogue is so disjointed. Everybody at this point knows about Tommy Wiseau's The Room. The infamous scene where he walks into the florist shop and places his order, and then the woman says, "What do you want?" That thing. That's this whole movie. At one point, she's walking home with Vincent, and he says, "Maybe you should talk to my father, Leonard," which who calls her father by their first name other than Bart Simpson.
Okay.
And he's in an insane asylum. He knows what he's going through. "You're not crazy." "I'm not crazy." Well, yeah, I guess that you missed your cue. And the... Oh, sorry.
No, it's the whole relationship between Vincent and Heather is that trope of I was sent to go get you, but now I'm in love with you, but it happened in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not only the trope of, betrayal for love, but it's also the I fell in love at first sight.
Which doesn't make sense. Like, she's introducing herself and telling class that she doesn't want to be friends because she knows that by the time she gets to know anyone, she's going to move on. And the teacher's like, "Very good," even though any teacher in the right mind would have been, "Get the hell out of this classroom and go to the principal's office." Then she introduces Vincent, and Vincent goes, "How am I supposed to follow that?"
Which, I mean, in the context of the movie, it wasn't that bad, just... it's not realistic. That was my problem with a lot of the lines of dialogues. I'm like, what fucking human talks like this?
Like, Rose talking to Harry going, "My love." I'm like, no, they left on bad terms, if I remember right. He didn't want her to go to Silent Hill, she did it anyway. It was kind of alluded that she was divorcing him.
Yeah, I think so.
And, he wanted answers, he wanted to get things clarified. And all of a sudden it's, "My love, protect my daughter." No! You crazy, go psycho bitch, you left me! I want some answers, and
But he's got the repentant husband type trope where, she's dead and he will always love her and he'll always be faithful, still wears his wedding ring.
The only way it would have worked is if Harry wasn't in the movie and the first movie ended with the best ending for Silent Hill. Have fucking Sybil and Rose as a lesbian couple adopt Heather and then go to the town. But no, we needed Harry. No, you didn't. His role in this entire movie is as a MacGuffin. I mean, the whole movie is Heather is trying to rescue him, which is what gets her to the town, even though in the game he died, and that's what made her go to the town.
If any of you, watch Supernatural, it's a Where's John?
Yeah.
It's Where's John? It's Dean and Sam, Where's John?
We'll pick up on this after a bit. Need to take a break.